Dowse.
Morning, David.
Let's start with one or two personal messages, if you like, or reports.
Yeah, I went to a lad I mentioned last week who's not very well, Morton. I went round his house yesterday. Lovely to see him. He had the working strip on when I went down there.
Really? And he wasn't expecting
He wasn't. I just knocked on his door. I said, "It's Dowse." Let us in. Him and his wife made us a cup of coffee and had a nice chat with him. Very good fella. Looking well. And I think he's going to try to go back to work and things like that. So I was delighted about that and all, So it's great work. And people also, I've got to mention Phil and Lisa Fitz, who come because they're on the Friday up catch up. They said, "Book me bike." And they come and said, "I've got a bike for you," and all that, So there's a bike and a hat.
Good.
So I went in a car park, but they do a great job. I went and done a girls thing for me last season. Me and Iain Dowie, I went there, the girl guides across where Westfield were. So they put a lot in the community they do, and I can see them, and they're smashing people. And I see them every now and again in town and through this lockdown, but it is coming. There's always a couple of bikes, and it's a nice thing to do. It's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
So if you're watching here, I do appreciate that as well.
And Phil has stood in for me taking pictures a couple of times as well.
So we've had some decent pictures.
Yeah.
So like Phil would have been top man taking pictures and all. But no. So I really do appreciate their time, because I've got Rossi and Casey up there, and I had to dash up here, and I couldn't really give them the time what they deserved. So I do appreciate their helping us with bike riding. Nick's gonna do a few rides with us and all that, and stuff like that. So it's great. And obviously Adrian and Lynn Corbett, I believe, have been married 25 years, which it's very unfair on Lynn, to be honest, you and all that, because I know you've had a lot to put up with. Could have got less with murder, and I really feel for you. So hopefully not be too many more years, but 25 years, well done.
Excellent, thank you for those. Obviously, the clear place we should start is the league's announcement yesterday, which wasn't exactly crystal clear, was it? Let's be honest.
It'll start, man. It's going to start. It'll start.
Right.
So I've had the players, not one of our players, we haven't been focused on anything else, Boston. Doesn't matter what anybody says from the league. Anybody. We'll start. No, we can't play without crowds, we've got that. No club in our league really can play the whole season without crowds. We can't. Okay, we've got that. The government's got to back it, because non-league's the best in the world at what it is. Now, if you look at the people making these decisions up there in the leagues and all that, and stuff like that, football's went like that there, right? Football's went the way of... I was shocked the other day, for example. I was shocked the other day. I was talking to the Premiership assistant manager, and he said to me, "Dowse, we don't even make the decisions. We make it up there. We make it up there. We decide who you're saying. We decide." It's like somebody from Tesco's trying to work out Barclays Bank. What the people up there now about football, I don't mean our club, because I watch, but I mean in general.
Yeah.
Let the managers... So it's got to be a football decision. The football decision is... Because people say, it's a business. It's not, it's a sport. It's a sport. The business says second, or you can only... but that's what you try to achieve all round. It's just what I kept saying here before the ground, get the team blinking right and all that, and stuff like that. It's a sport. It's always been a sport who's been spoilt by people, because these people will... They get 5 blinking physios in, blinking. They'll have the biggest thing ever. That 25 football's coming in now, which is getting destroyed by people up there. That's what's getting done by. Now the league have got to, I knew something, not new, but the government's got to come and help her, or somebody from up there in these high places and all that. They've got to help her, because if not, it may say, we done it last year, at least we've got a club. You haven't. The whole non-league will go. The whole non-league football. We'll not have non-league football anymore. It's the best in the world non-league in this country. We'll not have non-league football club. We won't have working football club. We won't have it. I'm telling you now. For a year, we'll do other things. We'll use a generation of people. They'll go to Chelsea. We'll go and watch the teams on telly. We'll not even... So it's no brainer. It's got to play it. We've got to play it. Now, how it goes and what it goes... And I get the one we can't play without... fans. I get that completely. But somebody up there, upstairs, has got to be a football man at the FA, and somebody in the government has got to be a football man somewhere and say, listen, there's thousands of people who's going to affect thousands. There's loads of people and managers, but players who are going to be on the duel. Football's going to be finished forever in this country. It's the highest thing ever. So from the FA upstairs or whatever, we've got to play. Simple as that. And no matter what. Or what about this? What about nothing? Find a solution. Find a solution. That's it. From everybody in football. So I've been emailing away at the FA saying you've got to get it on and all that. Behind everybody's backs. I've been doing that. I get the one. Totally agree. I come back with we can't play without crowds. I completely get that. But a government, FA, somebody's got to back everything in football to get it on. There's not even a question on it. Football's got to come back. Simple as that. So it will come back, because nobody will be that cruel in life to cancel football.
I'm sure you're right that it will come back.
It will.
I suspect very strongly, as I'm sure you do, that it will come back on October the 3rd.
That's what we're planning
for. The announcement from the league did suggest or imply very strongly that they're almost at a point where they've reached an agreement with the government for what was described as a financial support package. I
don't know much about that, to be honest, but I do think we'll come back. I know we will. And I don't know, but I know we will. So I'm not saying I've got any information, because I haven't. But I know we'll come back. But it's like to see these people up there up the top who sit around the table making these decisions, it's got to be football related. That's what I keep on saying about these people, whatever. It's got to be, like I just told you the story about the Premiership guy, about the people there. Somewhere along in football in general, it's got to be, the main thing is getting players. It is a sport. Simple as that. So if we do, we'll lose Meta Sports, we'll lose a whole lot, we'll lose a kid on the street, and they've got to look at somewhere along the line. These people who are high up in the FA might not realise what the kid on the street is, might not realise what the bloke in the pub is. I know how much a pint of lager is, these people might not. You've got to know, because the only thing, what anybody, when I leave here, what anybody would know, I would know what 95% of working fans think, because I meet them and I see them and I know the feeling what they think about the club and what they think. So I know, I've just mentioned 3 people there who've got a massive passion for working. We've got to keep it running for them. So whatever happens, instead of saying, no we can't, I don't mean this club, I mean no we can't. Think about the whole people, because I know the whole area, the whole people, and it's their lives as well, volunteers as well. We've got to start the season, simple as that.
Sure. Iain Dowie has done an interview with Clive, which is on the back page of the Surrey Ad. He says that he accepts the reasons for playing behind closed doors, but he's worried that Woking Football Club wouldn't be able to do it for very long.
Yeah.
In fact, he actually says 3 to 4 weeks.
I probably got to agree with that as well. That's not my point I'm making. Iain Dowie's got to go. I don't know how any football club can survive without crowds. I really don't. I really get that. I don't know how any football club in our league could survive more than 2-3 weeks. How can you survive paying players? Luckily enough, we've got the lowest budget in the league, but imagine, and even we couldn't survive. No, we couldn't. So I don't know how you could. But if we're backing what we should get off the government or the FA or somebody, will make that happen, because how can they all play league matches and all play below and got 3 leagues who can't? It's ridiculous. So it will happen, because, and I agree with that, how can we go through till Christmas without any crowds? Who's going to pay wages? Can't. But my main point across is it's got to happen, because somebody's got to find a way. Somebody out there has got to find a way. Not in this football club, because or not in Dorking Football Club, like something I'm seeing there tonight, or not Notts County, okay, because it doesn't matter what we think, it doesn't matter what Notts County think, it doesn't matter what Stockport think, or all the shot think, that don't matter, because we don't know the whole structure of the whole world, what we're living in, and all that, The government have got to act, and the FA have got to act to keep football running more than anything at this minute, because it's healthy, it's fit, it gives people passion, it's their lives, all the things I mentioned there. We're giving 1.4 billion or whatever to arts and crafts, which they have done, and I agree with that as well. We've got to do something for our level, not with all these people on only blinking 600 grand a week, or blinking even thousands a week and all that, I agree what the lad from Bournemouth said. There's a couple of teams who are paying people like £3 a week and £2,500 a week. That ain't our problem. It should be equal all the way down. You get everything equal all the way down, from us who are the part-timers in the league, everybody else there. That's what you got to work on. That's what you got to do. It's simple as that. And we've got to keep this football club for the lot. Yeah, we've got the oldest team in football itself in our league, Notts County. It's got to matter with everybody. People, thousands of people. It's going to affect families. It's going to affect kids. It's going to affect all the kids growing up. The academies. It's going to affect all of it. So if we can put 1.4 million of crafts and all that in arts, surely we've got to find a way to survive in our leagues, and we will do. I'm fairly confident we will do, because I've got to. It's like me being on the tour. I'll get a job. But eventually, but the bottom line is, players being on the tour, we'll get jobs. It's a whole thing what it goes to. Now to say we're shutting down, and that's it. That's the crackerjacks up there. If you make that decision, then I'll be finished with football, because that's absolutely twisted thinking. People, like I say, who are blinking, should be working at Tesco's, trying to take Barclays Bank on, and I'm using that expression as best I possibly can, running football at the very top in the leagues and stuff like that. That's what's wrong with football, I'm telling you.
Okay. I mentioned that the quote from Iain, because I thought it might be a little bit alarming to some people, but I'm sure he wasn't taking account of the fact that it would seem that there will be a government subsidy.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh no, like saying, Ian's right. If there's no government thing and there's nothing from the FA, we can't survive.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to put this message across. There's got to be something from the FA and government, and surely in life in general, that people can't be that cruel and not do it in life in general. Charities need money. Okay, got that as well. We need money, got that as well. We all need it, but surely we see the importance what it is for people's lives at football clubs, and and it's plus a fit and healthy environment as well, which we're all going about and all that, So I think and if they're going to do cinemas and all that, and I agree with all that and all that, so surely we've got to look at our football club, not ours, football in general, and somebody from up above in the FA have got to make that decision saying, listen, we can't survive with football, it's not right. if it is, that means that the Premiership and all that, I'll never watch it again in my life, because that means I don't care about football. Because if you can't look and say, listen, crikey, or the government, and I keep bringing it up. So I think everybody's got my message.
Okay. Let's turn to players. Last Friday, you talked about players coming from Oxford. Excuse me. As we sit here now, it's a week and a day till the first league match.
Yeah.
How is there any more news on any players? And how near to a final squad are you?
Close. Trying to get see, we've got the kid Cartwright from Peterborough, who's coming in and all that, And again, I talk about the gestures of football. We know that we can't play and all that, So the Peterborough chairman's come out today saying any player unknown is free of charge.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, great, I don't know. So a good job we got in early, to be honest, So
tell us about him then.
Big tall centre half, 6'3", left sided, 2 foot and all that, We've got that one. I'm still hoping to get another one in there from West Brom, to be honest. But he's come training well last night, and we'll play against Hampton Richmond tomorrow and all that, But we need somebody, in there who can carry it and compete in area. So I'm delighted about him. The 3 Oxford boys, I can't rubber stamp on the next Friday's catch up, because we've got to sign them on the day. Even though I'm hoping to get a couple there tomorrow to play and all that, But if they're not signed on, I don't want to say in case you drag them back or whatever. But they've been all 3 lads have been training with us. They've been in the group. They've been one of them played, as you see, overnight. Not after that playing, and all that's it. But you had 2 as well. I'd be delighted to get them as well. But until it's signed and sealed, and I think Cartwright's already signed and sealed, in my opinion. I think so. It's all done there. So we'll look on that and all that, And I'm delighted to get them.
Are you slightly concerned at all about the squad being very young?
Yeah, massively. But what more can I do?
Yeah.
But I have said from day one about me trying to, that's going to be my biggest challenge in 12 years of management. But all I've done is I'm not being clever about. We've had promotions every club. It's just a different type of challenge. That's all about young, about where we are budget wise and stuff like that. We are and surviving. Like you say, the chairman will sit there and say, I'm not even going to look at the league table as long as you survive. I think that's fair to finish outside the bottom 4. There'll be a bottom 3 now, because one team will be short on our league, won't it? So all the rest of it. But that's not going to be ambition. Ambition's going to win games of football on Saturday. We haven't talked about relegation. We haven't talked about being top 7 and all that. I think that even the most half glass empty person in the whole of working will settle for being in the league as he isn't. But we'll not think like that. We'll go and try to crack on. Is it young? But if you look and Gavin and far away, to be honest, Ross isn't too young. Cookie's not, Casey's not, Collier certainly isn't. In fact, Collier's old enough to be some of the dads, to be honest. Fernand isn't, Crasmer isn't. Tommy Block's a young kid, played games. Cooper's isn't.
24, isn't he?
That's not too young.
No.
Jarvis and all. Johnny Goddard's been there, seen it, done it. And the other lads have come from pro clubs, so I don't think we're too. Yeah. And I like youth, I like young. I don't like old, to be honest, because old lads get old injuries and all that, So I like youth and all that, so good.
Okay. How is Kane?
Good. Played 20 minutes behind closed doors on Saturday. Colin was great at grounds, and I've got to mention that because he's hammered us this morning. Colin, we trained on the pitch last night. Dave Curtis, great. Got some sandwiches for the lads and all that. Boz, fantastic. Brought the food for the lads. It was a really treat for everybody, really. And we trained down here and have a togetherness about it. And because we thought it might have been bad news yesterday, which it wasn't, and all that, and knew we told the lads to get prepared, and which you are. So he trained for an hour last night, no problems at all, absolutely fine.
Right, and Sam Evans?
Sam Evans is another couple of weeks away, I believe. He's right. And I think Jack Skinner's got to have a little operation to clear up on his ankle, which is sad for Jack because he's come back in good nick. And but that's life, he's got to get it done now. I'd rather get, he's 20 years old, get it done. He'll be back by Christmas, no problem. Yeah. That's life.
Okay. And sadly, in a way, are behind closed doors. Sad for that reason. Friendly tomorrow at Hampton.
I know, I had a lovely time at Hampton. Lovely 3.5 years it was there or something. And it was a great time there, We're 6 points bottom and we got the team and kept them up and won a championship and supplied players like Musa, obviously Casey, we got Blinken, Cookie come from there, we had Nick Gabamba come from there, we had Jamal Lure come from there. And typical when I sold him, when I left and all that, we got a few quid from it, so it's typical of my luck. But we had a lot of Brendan Keir, had a good side, Harry Taylor, Jack Taylor, we had a blinking good side there, and obviously won a championship through there and got the playoff and got the playoff final and missed the penalty. And so the 4 years I had there were magnificent, really. I really did.
And it would be remiss not to mention Max as well, of course.
Max Rasmer?
Yeah,
he was there, wasn't he? Didn't even notice him. No, Max and all, who scored on the play, he scored. He scored a lot of important goals. That's all Max does. He scores important goals. That's what he does. What penalty thing last night? Max takes it. His first one wasn't very good, so I tried to put him under a bit of pressure. I said, take it again in front of everybody. And everybody's thinking, I'm a bit harsh. I've done it because I knew he scored. Because under pressure, Max was unbelievable. Yeah. If you look at his Southwark and people like that, he always scores in the big games, Max, but under pressure, Max is very, very good. Take that pressure away from Max, he becomes an average penalty taker, free kick. Just put pressure on the lad, he's good at that.
Last question then, how close do you think tomorrow's starting 11 will be to the Solihull starting 11?
I would say probably 90%, I imagine.
Yeah.
90% will probably go along there. We're missing out on one Oxford boy who's went with the first team, but we'll get him for next week. And because we've got a couple of suspensions or something like that. So I think not so much the starting lineup, but squad would be that'd be 90%. So starting lineup, I might want to give. I might try to get Kane 90 from somewhere because he's been out for so long. Will he start? Because he's been out a long time. Nathan Collier's done as well as anybody, to be honest, in there, to tell you the truth. But the bottom line is, it'll be close to what I can do squad wise. Right. So I think we'll have that squad. I'm have to have a West Brom boy. We'll have the other Oxford boy will come in. Then we'll have a go. That's what we'll do.
Brilliant. Okay. See you next week.
Cheers, David.